Good morning. It is Big Joe and Laura here on Mix 95.7 Grand Rapids Best Mix. Welcome to Wednesday, April 24th. How you doing today, Laura?
Man, I am worse for wear. I am very tired. Little guy did not sleep well. Tulip the dog was barking at the storms last night. Although I have spent the last, 6 months being worried that the first time we had a storm and Tulip started barking, it was going to upset the baby. I learned yesterday the baby thinks that the dog barking is hilarious. It's almost like he's like dunking on her, like, you dummy, you don't know that storm's not going to get you. And he's like just sitting there giggling. So I'm like, I guess this is the best case scenario, but it was still exhausting because he wouldn't go to sleep because he was laughing at the dog.
I wish baby Justin could have hopped on my phone last night and replied to all these people. I'm going to have to, I have like a Ring camera, and if you ever do that, they have different notifications that go on. Actually, to me, there is a good thing. Like, hey, my dogs Benny and Paddington are missing. This is what they look like, and people within a certain radius.
Oh, and they can help you.
Yeah, that's great. I think it is.
Sure.
But what's going on with common sense is not great.
Oh, no.
And I'm the dumbest guy in West Michigan, so you know we have a problem if I'm complaining about it.
That's true.
Laura, let me start reading some of these notifications I got last night, because did you hear a tornado siren go off at all?
I heard everyone in my Facebook group in Alger Heights heard it, but I did not. But they were all like, was there a tornado siren? I know it was like a false flag, apparently.
There was some severe weather. Nothing seems to be too bad this morning, so at least what I was reading about as far as damage. But yeah, it was south of Grand Rapids, maybe like southern Kent County. But some places around us did have their, tornado things go off. Notification, siren going off. Does anyone know why the tornado sirens are going off in Wyoming? People are going on, turn on your TV, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so they answered it. This continues. 2 minutes later, sirens going off. Does anybody know why sirens are going off? Blah, blah, blah. 1 minute later, sirens. Is that a tornado alarm? Sirens. A lot of sirens going. Saw 2 cops flying down Butterworth. Any idea what's going on?
Hey, guys, did you know you could look at all the messages that everyone else has also received, and then you could do this thing called reading, where you look at all the letters and you combine them together to make words that actually answer your question so you don't ask it 50 times?
Here's what I would do. If you hear a siren going on and you don't know what's happening, I would check a news source, not your neighborhood communication group. It is nice sometimes to find out things, but then somebody finally replied, like, tornado sirens. Yes, there's a watch or a warning or something. I'm like, oh, my gosh.
So you mean the guy that's, like, doing his yard work in his underwear isn't the one I want to ask about severe weather?
Well, if I see something, I'm going to report it. Oh, you meant the other guy.
Yeah, the other guy. Sorry. I was trying to route you out.
Anyways, I hope we're doing good. I hope nothing happens in my neighborhood because I've turned off the notifications too.
Good luck.
It's time for Big Joe and Laura's Need to Know News on Mix 95.7.
Big congratulations to Phoenix Moyer and Kamani Brame, who are the first black girls in Michigan to become Eagle Scouts.
How cool is that? I never thought about the fact that that would be an accolade someone could actually get.
Yeah, that's great. Now, here's the thing I didn't realize. I know it's hard to become one, but only about 4% of boys and girls who become scouts reach the level of Eagle Scout.
It's really hard. You have to do like an insane project. You have to be in the Boy Scouts for years, and I can't even imagine doing it. I know somebody that redid an entire median as part of their Eagle Scout project back when I was in school, so it's like I'm sure they did something incredible to get that merit badge.
Maybe we can get some kids out here in West Michigan to make like a Grand Rapids sign like Detroit has. Now, that'd be a project.
That would be an Eagle Scout-worthy project for sure.
Now, speaking of the hardest thing, what do you think the hardest part for them was becoming an Eagle Scout?
I don't know. All of the hours they put in, the hard work.
They said it was camping.
You know, honestly, I hate camping too, girls. I don't blame you. It's totally fine to feel that way. All right, this is the best news in the entire world, at least as far as I'm concerned, because Mr. Worldwide, a.k.a. Pitbull, has announced a new tour with one stop in Michigan. You can see him on his Party After Dark tour when it comes to Pine Knob on Wednesday, September 4th. Fun fact, that's the first place I ever saw Pitbull was back in 2021, the last time he played Pine Knob, and it is a vibe to see him outside. Here's an even better reason to go if you don't believe me. T-Pain is his opener.
Oh, that's awesome.
I can't wait. Tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m., and if you want to party with me, make sure you grab them before it's too late.
And for your final Need to Know news story, let's head over to Belgium, where people recently took part in a seagull impression contest. This is 9-year-old Cooper, who won the under-18 group.
Cooper!
Wow. Wow, Cooper, honestly, I felt like I should be giving you some bread or something.
Yeah, I just started throwing stuff at him. Here you go.
Here you go, buddy. Good job. He was even wearing a seagull costume, so really, he totally lived up to the part.
All right, let's do our over 18 contest right now. Laura, I'll go first. Are you part seagull?
I'm definitely Lake Gull, that's for sure.
That's Big Joe and Laura's Need to Know News on Mix 95.7.
You know, there's feeling left out, and then there's feeling like you will never gonna fit in no matter what you do. Hey, it's Big Joe and Laura here on Mix 95.7, Grand Rapids Best Mix. There's a viral story going around right now about a man and his wife who felt humiliated when they were denied entry into a popular hotspot during their date night. Basically, they were in line for this club and they saw a group of influencers kind of cut the line because they were invited by the staff and the management. And they get inside instantly.
Come here, you're not ugly. Come inside.
Yeah, look at all you beautiful Instagram people. Come on in. And you know this has happened for years at clubs. This is not the first time you've heard of this. But by the time this man and his wife, who are in their 40s, they are always the unpopular kids at school, as they describe themselves, get to the front of the line, magically the line is cut off and no one is allowed in for the rest of the night. Now, tell me that would make you feel 3 feet tall.
I've been there before where I've been like with a group of people, and only way I got in is because there was a huge group of girls that I was with and they were attractive and I'm like the ugly guy. And
they're like, we'll take you for the net worth of everyone else.
Yeah, it was ugly math. It was a tough equation, but they made it work.
Oh no. Well, we want to know, have you ever felt not attractive enough to be somewhere? Give us a call, 616-600-0957. I'm going to be honest, everywhere. I am not very girly. It is something that I've tried to work on. You know, I was raised by a single dad, so things like hair and makeup, not in my wheelhouse. I'm not good at either. I basically do the bare minimum most of the time with both of them, down to like half the time my hair isn't even brushed or styled right because I don't know. I don't care. I'm just here vibing. But like anytime we get invited to something through work, or if I'm invited through like my husband's stuff to like a gala or something where you have to dress really nice, some sort of formal event, I immediately am like, I probably shouldn't go. Like, I don't think I should be there. I don't fit in. I feel like all the other women that are there are always in like fancy dresses and they have their hair in an updo. And like, for example, we went to the museum, the big museum event that happens in the spring where they have like a gala. Every year, I swear I'm the sloppiest, worst dressed person there. And I have tried for hours to get my life together to be able to show up and at least hang. I'm not saying I'm going to be the star of the show. I don't want to be the star of the show. I just don't want to look like that person who is invited with a pity invite.
I feel like you look great, but I do understand that feeling, that insecurity that we have. 616-600-0957. Where was the place where you just felt like, oh boy, I am not attractive or I don't look right to actually be here? I feel like that for me is... I think I can think of recently, it's nothing to do with them. And I say recently, this was like a year or two ago. Lindsay and I went for our anniversary to the Chop House. And man, I'll tell you right now, I wish I got paid because I paid them a lot of money for that meal. Probably the most expensive I've ever had.
Yeah, sure.
But it was celebrating a big anniversary. It was so good. But I felt like I couldn't even be sitting at the bar when I went in there. And I wore dress pants and a nice shirt. I think I had a tie. I don't remember exactly. But they treated me like I deserved to be there. But holy cow,
Well, didn't you kind of think that they kind of hid you in a corner at the time? Like, I remember having this conversation a year or so ago.
No, you think they did.
No, I wouldn't have said this.
Coworkers think they did.
I would have never said
Our
this.
boss, Jeff, thinks they did.
I believe Jeff thinks they did.
If you work at the Chop House and you put me and my wife in the corner, 616-600-0957. But, I think we've all been there, though. You're just like... Oh boy, I feel really awkward standing out here.
Yeah, so if you'll be vulnerable with us, share us a time that you felt like you weren't supposed to be there or you weren't attractive enough to be there. This is a safe space. We're all venting. Again, you can give us a call or send us a DM, 616-600-0957.
We are Big Joe and Laura here on Mix 95.7, Grand Rapids Best Mix. Some would say we are the ugliest morning show in West Michigan. You know what, though? That's our coworkers, and they can say that.
You know what? They're doing better than us, so we're not going to fight them on. No, we're kidding. But listen, we're talking about a viral story that's going around right now about a man and his wife who felt humiliated because they didn't get into a club when they watched all these influencers get in. And we were talking about times that we didn't feel attractive enough to be somewhere. And if you've got one, listen, you're in good company. I don't think Joe and I ever feel like we fit in anywhere. You can give us a call. You're safe here. 616-600-0957. Kaylee in Grand Rapids. When did you feel like you weren't attractive enough or good enough to be somewhere?
I feel like that all the time. So like I go out a lot with my friend Jazz, and she's like so much more prettier than me, and she always dresses like really eccentric. And like me, I don't ever step out of my comfort zone like that. So like anytime we go out, I always feel like I'm like the duff. Do you guys know what that is?
Yes.
Oh, God. Yeah, I don't even want you to say it, but if people don't, Kaylee, can you explain what the duff is?
A duff is the designated ugly fat friend.
Oh, no!
Wait, you didn't know that, Laura?
No!
Oh, I've been the duff for many years.
Oh, I feel like I'm the duff currently in this phase of my life. So, Kaylee, you're not alone. You're in good company here. We are not duffs. We are just the extra friend, if anything.
Exactly. We're the like sidekick.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The main character always has to have somebody else with them that kind of keeps the story moving along, and that's our purpose, and that's totally fine. There's a place for people like us. Now, Kaylee, I bet you look amazing, and I bet, the world kind of makes us all feel bad about ourselves all the time, and I think this is just a friendly reminder to all three of us that, hey, you take up space, it's totally fine, and don't let anybody else make you feel bad, because you are who you are, and you're beautiful just the way you are.
Yeah, Kaylee, you can hang out with us anytime, and we'll be the ugly friends.
Exactly. We'll be the ugly friends for you, Kaylee. That's why we're in radio and not TV.
Exactly.
We're your DERFs, your designated ugly radio friends.
There you go. Kaylee, thanks for calling this morning. We hope you have a great day.
You too.
It's time to play Laura Can't Lose on Mix 95.7. Here's how it happens. You'll have 1 minute to answer 5 questions. You can pass if you need to, and we'll come back if time allows. A tie goes to Laura because, well, her name's on the show. Here's who's playing Laura Can't Lose today.
This morning, we've got Mindy and her son Chase representing Grand Rapids.
Good morning, Mindy. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great.
Heck yeah. Well, hopefully you can beat me for your chance to win those $40 with the Michigan lottery tickets. Good luck.
All right, let's get Laura out of the studio. Can Mindy and Chase tell Laura to leave, please?
Get out of here.
Oh, Chase came hot. Okay, deal. I'm out.
All right, when that door closes, I will ask you two. Question number 1. What group is known for the songs It's Time, Radioactive, and Thunder?
Imagine Dragons.
Question number 2. In this movie, a lion cub named Simba goes through various trials to become the king.
Lion King.
Question number 3. Who is the longest running host of The Daily Show?
Jon Stewart.
Question 4. The Grand Rapids Griffins are the AHL affiliate for what NHL team?
Red Wings.
Question 5. The Millennium Falcon is a spaceship in what movie series?
Star Wars.
I'm going to bring Laura back in.
Laura. La, 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 Laura.
So, Mindy, what do you do for a living?
I'm in sales.
Ooh, is that hard? Because I feel like if people said no to me, I would be like, okay, fine.
Okay, fine.
You have to have a thick skin, that's for sure.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't do your job, Mindy. I admire you for that. I'm better at just answering questions and getting them wrong on the radio.
Well, Laura, you might be the perfect candidate for this because Mindy and her son Chase went 5 for 5.
Oh, no. Okay, no pressure.
All right, Miss 1, you're done. Let's go to question 1. What group is known for the songs It's Time, Radioactive, and Thunder?
That would be Imagine Dragons.
That is correct. 1-1. Question 2. In this movie, a lion cub named Simba goes through various trials to become the king.
My favorite movie as a kid, The Lion King.
Correct. 2-2. Question 3. Who is the longest running host of The Daily Show?
I guess it would be Jon Stewart, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
3-3 going into question 4. The Grand Rapids Griffins are the AHL affiliate for what NHL hockey team?
I don't know this for sure, but it's the only one I know, so I'm going to say the Red Wings.
Yes, that is correct.
Thank God. That was just a dumb guess.
Okay, 4-4 going into the last question. The Millennium Falcon is a spaceship in what movie series?
That would be Star Wars.
That is correct. We've got a 5-5 tie, which means Mindy and Chase, you guys can come on back and take Laura on to try to win that Michigan Lottery jackpot.
Woo-woo.
Awesome.
It's time for Big Joe and Laura's Need to Know News on Mix 95.7.
If you live or work downtown Grand Rapids today, something pretty scary is going to happen, but don't freak out. It's just a drill. Teams with Life EMS Ambulance are going to be training for a mass casualty event. This is happening at GLC Live at 20 Monroe today. The reason they're doing this is they're going to have a scenario where faulty pyrotechnics injure concert goers, which unfortunately is a real thing that could happen at a live show. Paramedics will be treating volunteers volunteers that are wearing makeup that looks like real wounds. It's crazy how these things look. And then experts will give these trainees some feedback afterward to let them know what they did and what to do better next time.
Yeah, so again, if you're going by 20-minute road and you see a bunch of people covered in blood, it's fake. Don't panic. It's just a drill. Okay, so he's doing a feature on everyone's album. He's talking about going country. Now he's going to make comics and movies.
Posty?
Yeah, Post Malone is expanding into the world of graphic novels and movies with an original idea he's come up with. Apparently, the story takes place in medieval Europe, where the only thing standing in the way of a horde of demons is a mysterious armored 18-wheeler seemingly sent back from the heavens. So I guess it's about a tractor trailer that fights demons?
This sounds like a Post Malone movie.
It certainly sounds like he consumed some adult things before writing it, that's for sure. The first story in the universe is going to be released as a graphic novel next year, and then it's going to be followed by a movie that he's making with, get this, Transformers and Bad Boys director Michael Bay, who is like the king of nonsense action movies. I mean, would you watch this if it came out this week?
I mean, it's got Post Malone. Yeah, I'll check it out.
Why not?
And your final need to know news story takes us to Pennsylvania. You know, it felt great when we were able to give away hundreds of prom dresses to girls in need here in West Michigan. We did that event last month, Klamath Ford. But this little girl might have beat us, Laura. Chloe, a Girl Scout in Pennsylvania, organized a prom dress giveaway over the weekend, and she was able to collect over 150 dresses along with shoes. And here's the reason why she did it.
My friend wasn't able to afford dresses, so we bought some for her. That's the reason I did this prom closet.
Oh, Chloe. I know we talked about girls getting Eagle Scout an hour ago, but Chloe deserves to be an Eagle Scout for this. What a sweet thing.
That's Big Joe and Laura's Need to Know News on Mix 95.7.
How many times does a restaurant have to disappoint you before you say, that's enough, I'm not taking this abuse? Hey, we're Big Joe and Laura here on Mix 95.7.
I just feel like you're like, what is it? Is it Twisted Sisters? Like, we're not gonna take it.
Oh, that's absolutely my mentality when it comes to restaurants. Maybe it's because I managed a restaurant for several years when I was in college and in my early radio days, but I just have a very low threshold for what I'm willing to deal with restaurants. I'm never going to be mean. I don't think that I don't necessarily place blame on people sometimes. Like, I know people have bad days. They mess up orders. I did it myself when I worked in fast food and as a barista. But there's just certain, I can't deal with certain things.
What happened?
Okay, so the other day, I went on my little Target run to pick up some stuff, and you know nowadays you can actually add an order to your drink. Do you know that? Or a drink to your order?
I did not know that. I'm sure my wife Lindsay does, but thanks for telling every person in West Michigan this secret now.
Yeah, so basically, I'm not going to say which location it was because, again, I'm not mad at this Starbucks specifically, but I did add a lemonade on because I was like, oh, I got to go all the way out to the other end of town and I got to do all this. The least I could do is have myself a little treat. So the only modification I ever ask for are things that are not that big of a deal to ask for because I think it's really rude and annoying to change orders. But I was like, can you guys give me just a little bit less ice? Because I'm not a big ice person. I don't like my drinks to be really cold. I just want it. I don't even care if the drink is shorter in size. I just don't want all of the ice. So long story short, the label, which I've posted on the Mix 95.7 GR Facebook page, if you don't believe me, says light ice. But they filled my drink all the way to the top with ice. So I got 3 drinks out of my $6 drink, and then it was entirely empty, and I'm left with a cup of ice that I didn't want because I don't like ice.
I feel that if you say light ice to me, not necessarily when I get a nice drink, but maybe a pop or something, I expect it to be at the very bottom. We're talking a half an inch to an inch max. It's just 5 to 10 cubes.
Honestly, I'll take a half a cup. I'm not unreasonable. Like, I get it. You know, you don't want to have to give me a whole bunch more drink, although 95% of the time it's not costing you anything very much, especially if it's like a soda or something. But, you know, I understand, but I'm the type of person that I don't want to complain because people have bad days. People complain about stuff that's totally out of their control, and I don't want to be that person. So instead, I just silently put places on a list that I'm just not going back there. And it's not like a spiteful thing. It's just hey, I had a bad experience here. Maybe next time I'll try a different location. And then if I go to like 3 or 4 of the same restaurants locations, I'm not going to do it again. And it comes from being very, very much a doormat in my past. There was one time in college, there's a restaurant in the town I went to school in. I went and got the same dish 3 separate times over the span of 6 months, and I got food poisoning all 3 times.
Oh, God. Yeah. The first time would have been a sign.
Well, yeah, you would think. But again, I went through that same mentality that everybody's trying to give me crap for on Facebook, where I was like, things happen. Benefit of the doubt, maybe I was sick with something else. I get sick exact same way, exact same meal again. And then the 3rd time. So now I just don't do it. And that's my personal, I guess, I don't know. I'm a little defensive about this right now, but I don't want to put up with that. You, meanwhile, will give people like a mile of rope before you allow them to hang themselves.
I mean, my thing is this. You're not going back to a restaurant because of one mess up. Like, it's okay to say something's wrong. Yeah, I don't blame you going. I wouldn't go back if it was food poisoning. Sorry, I could never do it to myself again.
No.
But anything else, yeah, you have to tell them, hey, there's a problem. You don't got to be a Karen about it, but you have to let them know so they can fix it. And yeah, I mean, everybody deserves a second chance, including a restaurant.
Well, I agree with you to a small extent, but I know as someone who was on the other end of those complaints, it didn't fix anything 95% of the time. Usually you'd be like, oh, they suck, and then you'd keep sucking. And that's, that's okay. That's your prerogative. You don't have to get better, but I don't want to be the one that teaches you. I'm just going to not give you the business. And when you notice you get less and less business, maybe you'll try a little harder with the customers that remain. But we want to know, how many times can a restaurant mess up before you stop going there? Joe says infinitely, and I say 1 time. We're clearly on complete opposite ends of the spectrum. We would love to hear from you at 616-600-0957. Again, that's 616-600-0957.
Mix 95.7, Grand Rapids Best Mix. We are the Big Joe and Laura Show.
Listen, I'm trying not to be defensive about this because everybody on Facebook is not on my team, but maybe someone out there in Radio Land will be. The other day, I went to Target. I got myself a little drinky drink. I added on to my pickup order. And when I got my drink, the only request I made was light ice because I'm not a big fan of ice. And to be honest, it's usually like 3 sips and the drink is gone. And I would just rather have a more empty cup than all of that ice at the end. So I asked for this. They literally give me a full cup of ice, and I decide maybe this is not the Starbucks for me. I probably am never going back there again. And no disrespect to the people who made my drink. It tasted fine otherwise. Like, they're nice people. I hope they have a great day. But I'm the type of person that I've been burned so many times in the past being nice to restaurants because I won't complain and I don't want to be a Karen, that I just continually end up getting the bad end of things. So I just add things to a silent list and I won't go back.
You don't have to be a Karen, and you're not if you just say like, hey, I wanted light ice and this is a lot of ice, or whatever it might be. You got to go back more than one time to give a place a chance, right? 616-600-0957. Jess in Portland, how many times did a restaurant mess up before you said, okay, I'm not going back?
Well, it was 3, because first we found hair, and then my kid got sick, and then the 3rd time I found a chicken bone in my quesadilla.
No. See, you're nicer than me. The second I found a hair, I would have been out. And it wouldn't even have been about the first time. If it had been the second time, I still would have been out.
Jess, I get those other things, but did you say boneless chicken?
No, I said just slap the whole chicken right in there. Go ahead.
Hey.
See, you could have solved it. No, you shouldn't be blamed for that.
Now,
but that is frustrating.
Is this 3 separate incidences, or is this one time?
No, 3 separate incidences. They just have the best macaroni and cheese, and I'm really mad I can't eat there anymore.
Oh, that is frustrating. Well, I hope somehow you find a comparable mac and cheese, because trust me, I don't like putting restaurants I like on this list, but I just don't want to complain. And I feel like I've been a victim of going to the same place so many times that I just won't do it anymore. I'm like, you know what? I'll try a different location. I'll try a different place. There's so many businesses in West Michigan. I don't have to take this abuse.
Exactly. Agreed.
Aaron and Lowell, how many times does a restaurant have to mess up before you say that's enough?
1 time and 1 time only.
Thank God. Someone else on my page.
I agree with you, Laura. Let me tell you my little story here. I grew up pretty poor when I was young, and we never got to eat anywhere besides, maybe McDonald's every once in a while. But now that I'm older and I have my own money and I can make those choices, there are so many restaurants in the world that I only need to have one bad experience to never go back to a place again, and then I can go somewhere else because there are so many options.
Absolutely. That's my exact point. And honestly, now that you say that, I think it probably is from being so broke for so many years of my life. Like, I didn't grow up poor per se, but I spent probably the years of 19 through 35 being super, super broke and having to pay all my own bills and having to kind of fend for myself. And I'm going to be honest,
Sure.
I did only get to go out to eat maybe once every 6 months. And if you screwed that up for me, you really ruined things. And so I think I just hold this grudge because I'm like, listen, there are plenty of businesses I'd love to give my money to. No shade. I'm just not going back.
Poor Laura. She's like, okay, I can't have 2 bad meals in a year. That's all I get.
Exactly.
I can't agree more.
Thank you, Aaron. I needed somebody to back me up because everybody on Facebook is basically calling me a Karen for this. And I swear I'm the least Karen person ever. If anything, I don't want to complain to people. It makes me feel bad to say negative things.
Totally. I totally agree with you. So I'm on your side, Laura. I got you.
Mix 95.7. It's the Big Joe and Laura show.
We want to know, do you send an order back if they get it wrong? Recently, I had a drink that I ordered, and basically I asked for light ice, and they gave me a all the way to the brim full cup of ice. Everyone on our Mix 95.7 GR Facebook's like, you don't deserve light ice. Just get over it, which was not the energy I was looking for. But you guys have been calling in and telling me how often someone has to mess up before you're willing to say, hey, I'm not going back to that restaurant anymore.
I can't believe you're like, oh, well, they gave me too much ice. I can never go back again.
I'm going to avoid them in the future. If it's the only place in the world that's selling drinks, sure, I'll go back. But if I've got an option that's somewhere nearby, I'll give somebody else a new try. They've earned it. We want to know how you feel about this at 616-600-0957. Right now, we've got Lacey from Cedar Springs on the line. Lacey, do you think that I'm wrong here?
I agree with Laura on the one time, but I also don't think you're a Karen for going back and telling them that they did a bad thing. You're only a Karen if you do it at every single place you go to and spend your whole day complaining about stuff. So don't feel like a Karen to go back and tell them, hey, I did ask for it this way. Could you fix it? I mean, then even if you don't go back to it again, you at least got what you asked for in the first place.
You know, you're not wrong on that. I always just feel bad because it's like half the time it's like, I don't really want the fix. I just want them to know, be like, hey, be mindful of this in the future. And maybe that's just me.
Want
right?
the fix?
Well, no, it's like if it's something stupid like ice, like I don't need a whole other drink. I feel like that's wasteful, and it's just more in the future. Like, hey,
but
people ask for this.
They didn't do it the right way. They didn't do it the right way. Like that's not your problem that they're wasting the drink. It's their problem that they didn't listen to you.
Lacey's giving me tough love, and I kind of need it right
now. I just, I cut hair for a living, and you have to have really good communication skills, because if you mess something like that up, and I've worked with people like that, you don't go back from that easily. Like, the person's not coming back. You mess something up on them, you're done. Your customer's gone.
I must be the customer in a lot of these scenarios, because let me tell you, there's been so many times that I've got my hair cut and then I've been traumatized for like a year and a half to not get it cut again because I had such a bad time.
I know. Well, and I feel like, not to bring it back up, that's why you tried to pull the color out yourself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, for sure.
And then had to have it fixed. You know what I mean?
It took
and
me
I
like
didn't meet you in person until after it was fixed. So
no, you're totally not wrong, because you definitely called me out on that one for sure, and I deserve it. And honestly, it took me a while to go back and find someone to really do it right. Like, I found someone in that moment, and now she's left Grand Rapids, and I'm like, crap, I got to go back at it.
If you're wondering what the heck are Lacey and Laura talking about, Laura tried to do her own hair by having her husband James help out,
like
and
2 weeks before my wedding.
Yeah, and it was a complete disaster.
That ruined my hair.
Yeah, I want to say, Lacey, you're not seeing Laura's eyes right now, but she's having a flashback. So thanks.
Oh, no. You are welcome. Quit being afraid to tell people that you don't like what's going on. It's okay.
I will be more assertive in the future, and I'll be like, Lacey in Cedar Springs told me to tell you to stop it.
Right.